This week we have a new relaxing rhythm to add to our scalloped clue 1. Clue 2 is going to be much more easy and relaxing knitting, especially once we get started and repeat some fun squiggles and some eyelet stripes. So get all of your stitches from clue 1 onto your working needle. So you should have the 2 stitches from these scallops in the middle there, and then you should have lots of live stitches from scallops 3 and scallop 5 and 6 all on your needle. This week color C is going to be very important as the main color, and you use a little bit less yardage of color C this week compared to your other colors. There's going to be a recommended order, BDA, 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 a repeating rhythm that happens with your other 3 colors, and color C is the soloist. You can use colors B, D, and A in any order that you like. So if you like your colors B, D, and A like this, D, A, B, D, A, B, you could use them in that order. Color C is going to be a little accent that recurs throughout the entire section, and it's a really nice opportunity for a mohair dare. I'm going to hold one strand of mohair together with color C. You could also use mohair instead of color C. If you have just a single strand of mohair, you could substitute that for color C this week, and that's going to be a really cool option to just have a fluffy color C. And another substitution, we've got 3 colors making these little short row squiggles this week. Colors B, D, and A, with color C as the soloist. If you want to change up the order, that's fine. You could have a mohair held together with any of those colors as well for a little fluffy squiggle. And another fun option, I think for those of you that have like a series of gradient colors in a crescendo, you could use all 4 colors as colors B, D, and A, and then you could use a brand new mohair color pop as color C. So I wrote the pattern for 3 colors being the squiggles with color C as the soloist, but if you want to incorporate all 4 of your fingering weight colors in your squiggles, you could do that too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and do a brand new color pop as your mohair, or a brand new color pop as that color C. That would work really well too. But follow the instructions exactly as written and you'll get what I did for this clue 2, much more of a relaxing effect. And let's cast on and learn how to do it. Section 2 begins with the 161 stitches from the scallops. So make sure all of those stitches are on your needle. And we're going to continue with color A, which is the same color that was that garter ridge from the scallops. I think in the intro I said the order with the squiggles was BDA, BDA, but it's the opposite. So we start with A, and we're going to be doing a sequence of ADB, 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 ADB. So get colors A, D, and B in an order like this. If it doesn't matter as well, we could do a different order, but I wrote the pattern saying ADB, ADB. But you could do this. I think it's nice to continue with color A because that's going to match the garter ridge. Color C is the soloist. We use a little bit less yardage of color C this week, and I'm going to hold a mohair together with color C. You could hold only a mohair for color C. This is a soloist, so it's really fun for that to be something really light, or a color pop. Or if you have a brand new mohair color, you could substitute that for color C. If you want to do a mohair dare, you could do a coordinating color with color A held together with mohair. Color B could be held together with mohair, with this light mohair, or color D could be held together. So it's up to you. You can hold mohair together with any color this week. Let's begin with color A, the matching color that you finished the scallops with. Section 2 squiggles. Squiggle 1, row 1, right side, using A, knit 3, knit front back, knit into the front and back of the stitch. If any of these techniques are easy for you, skip ahead using the timestamps below to watch any of the short row techniques or changing colors. Knit 3, knit front back, knit 48. Once you knit 48 stitches, you should be here. Knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit. Slip the first stitch knitwise, slip the next stitch knitwise, knit those two together through the back for a slip, slip, knit. Knit 49. After you knit 49 stitches, knit 2 together, slip, slip, knit, and those were the 2 live stitches from scallop 4, right there. So that knit 2 together and slip, slip, knit was working the 2 live stitches remaining from scallop 2 over there, scallop 4 over there. But just follow the row very closely. After the slip, slip, knit, knit 37. I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, knit 37. After you knit 37, there should be 15 stitches remaining on the left needle. If there are not 15 stitches, then you could knit 2 together or sneak in an extra increase. You should have 143 stitches on your right needle and 15 stitches on your left needle. If that's not the case, then sneak in an increase anywhere or sneak in a knit 2 together decrease anywhere and turn to work the wrong side. You should have 158 total stitches on both needles. Row 2, wrong side, knit 27. So when you turn around, you don't have to do anything fancy. Let me do that one more time for you English style knitters. So I turned around, just placed the yarn in the back between the gap in the needles. So I turned to look at the wrong side, the yarn is in back, and just knit. Knit 27, nothing fancy. This is the West Knits shortcut row. After you knit 27, place marker. This could be a regular stitch marker like this. PM stands for place marker. I like to use a split ring marker because if I accidentally place a marker in a different location, a wrong location, it's easy to unlatch it to get it out. But knit 27, place marker onto the right needle, knit to last 3 stitches. When you reach the end of row 2, the last 3 stitches, bring the yarn forward, slip 3 with yarn in front. Row 3, right side. At any time in this project, you can weave in your ends as you knit. So I have this tail that was from when I joined color A again. Row 3, right side, knit 3, knit front back, knit into the front and back of the stitch. You can start doing a weave and steven technique where you wrap that yarn tail around your working yarn. After each stitch, after you do the I-cord stitches, so at least do the knit 3 before you start doing the weave and steven. Knit 3, knit front back, knit to marker. And you can do this wrap technique. Knit and cross. This will weave in your ends as you knit. This will save you lots of time in the end. So do this throughout the entire section. Anytime you see a little tail of yarn or when you join a new color, you can do the weave in steven to finish and weave in your ends as you knit. Do this for about 12 to 15 stitches or so. And this is enough. If you hold the yarn in your right hand, you'll just have to... If you hold the yarn in your right hand, you'll just have to drop your working yarn and cross the tail on top to do the weave in steven. Knit 1 and take that broken tail of yarn and cross it on top. Knit 1 and cross. knit 1, and cross, and that's enough. And once you're done, about 15 stitches or so, just drop the yarn and keep on going with your working yarn, knitting to the marker. And later you can just trim that end that you wove in. Don't trim it too close to the fabric, but about right here. Cut that tail, and the end is woven in on the wrong side. Look at that, you can hardly even tell. That's going to save you so much time at the end of your project. And it will keep your work very nice and organized as you knit. Row 3, right side, knitting to the marker. At the end of row 3, when you reach the stitch marker, remove the marker, turn to work the wrong side. You should have 159 total stitches on both of your needles. Looking at the wrong side, row 4, wrong side, the yarn should be in the back. If it's not, just place the yarn between the needles into the back. Row 4, wrong side, knit 24. 1, 2, 3. Once you knit 24, place marker onto the right needle. Knit to last 3 stitches. At the end of row 4, bring the yarn forward to slip 3 with yarn in front. Continue working rows 5 through 12. You will increase 1 stitch every right side row at the beginning with the knit 3, knit front back, knit to marker, and when you remove the marker, you're always going to be placing it earlier each time. So you never turn in the same location. You stopped and turned, and then you place the marker in a different place. So work the rows very closely. Row 5 and 6, sometimes on the even numbered rows, on row 6 and row 10, you're knitting 27 on the wrong side. On row 8, you're knitting 24. So just follow the row really closely and get set up correctly for these fun short rows. Row 5, right side, knit 3, knit front back, knit to marker. I'll see you at the end of row 12. I am working row 12 of section 2 for the first squiggle, squiggle 1. At the end of row 12, I just knit 16 stitches after removing the marker. So row 12, I removed the marker at the end of row 11. Row 12, knit to last 3 stitches. That should be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. And then slip 3 with yarn in front. So including the I-cord stitches, you should have 19 stitches here before that short row turn that you made. So there should be a gap and then 19 stitches. Break color A. There should be 7 color A garter ridges counting from here, including that garter ridge from the scallop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 garter ridges. Break color A. Using C, eyelet stripe 1. Use color C. This is the same color as your background brioche color or that garter stitch stripe color. I'm going to hold a lace weight mohair for my mohair dare with color C. Color C is a really fun eyelet stripe, a little detail that's great for some fluffy accents. Eyelet stripe 1, row 1, right side. Color C is ready and leave a tail about this long. Using C, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit front back, knit into the front and back of the stitch. And I'm going to take my tail of color C and my tail of color A that's broken and do the weave in Steven. cross the tail on top of the working yarn. Okay, knit 3, knit front back, knit 3, 2, 3, and I'm weaving my ends as I knit. Knit 3, knit front back, knit 3, knit 2 together 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You should be at the short row gap. After you knit 2 together 6 times, knit 1 while closing the short row gap. To close the short row gap, use the left needle to pick up that garter bump below the stitch you just knit. I'll show you that up close. Do you see that garter bump below the stitch that you knit? Just go from the bottom with the left needle and pick up that bump, knit it together with the next stitch. That was knit 1 while closing the gap. Knit 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make 1. Using the backwards loop cast on method, make 1 to increase. If you hold the yarn in your right hand, the make 1, just give the yarn a twist and pop it onto the needle like this. You want to see this little cross. It's not a yarn over, it's not like this. So you want to twist the yarn and place it onto the right needle like that for the make 1. Knit 1, make 1 12 times. So after the make 1, knit 1, make 1 12 times. 1, knit 1, make 1 2 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, knit 1, make 1 11 times, and knit 1, make 1 12 times. Knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should now be at another short row gap. Knit 2 together while closing the short row gap. Pick up the bump below the stitch you just knit and knit 2 stitches together with this bump. It looks like a knit 3 together because I'm knitting, see, I'm going into this second stitch and knitting it together with the bump. So here you see 2 stitches are knitted together and I also closed the gap. It feels like a knit 3 together because you're picking up that bump and that is like an extra stitch. So it's not knitting those 2 together, 1 stitch plus the picked up stitch. It's 2 stitches plus the picked up stitch. So that's very important. So again, knit 2 together while closing the short row gap, pick up a bump, and knit these 2 stitches together with that picked up stitch. One more time. It looks like a knit 3 together, but it's really just decreasing a stitch. So pick up a bump, Knit these 2 stitches and the picked up bump. This is called knit 2 together while closing the short row gap. So it's like a knit 2 together and a little bonus, closing the gap maneuver. After you do that, knit 2 together 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat from asterisk twice more. So go all the way up to that top line on row 1 of the eyelet stripe where it says knit 2 together 6 times. That's where we start repeating. Knit 2 together 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knit 1 while closing the short row gap. You should be at the short row gap location using the left needle, pick up that garter bump, and knit it together with the next stitch. That's a knit 1 while closing the short row gap. Knit 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, make 1. Knit 1, make 1 12 times. 1, 2, knit 1, make 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have the first make 1. You can see that little new stitch right there. That was the first make 1, and the knit 1, make 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Knit 1, make 1. And 10. 11. And 12. Knit 1, make 1 12 times. Knit 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You should be at the next gap. Knit 2 together while closing the short row gap. Pick up the bump, the garter bump below the stitch you just knit, and knit 2 together, these 2 stitches together, and that picked up bump. Knit 2 together while closing the short row gap. Knit 2 together 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat from asterisk. We need to do it one more time. We just repeated from the asterisk once. Now we have to do it 2 total times. So keep on going back to that asterisk and knit 2 together 6 times. And I'll see you at the end of row 1. I am at the end of row 1, and the final instructions are knit 2 together 5 times. If it's ever hard to knit 2 together, you could insert the right needle like this and loosen the stitches first. And that makes it easier to knit 2 together. So at the end of the row was the knit 2 together 5 times, and then slip 3 with yarn in front. Bring the yarn forward to slip the last 3 with yarn in front. Row 2, wrong side, knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit 2 together, yarn over to last 4 stitches. Knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. If you hold the yarn in your right hand, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. If it's ever hard to knit 2 together, loosen the stitches first. Keeping the stitches close to your needle tips helps. And some pointy needles are also helpful with the knit 2 together technique. Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over. Sometimes it's a little harder when you're knitting 2 together with those new make one stitches, so it helps me to loosen those up a little bit first so you can knit 2 together. Yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over, knit 2 together, yarn over to last 4 stitches. At the end of row 2, knit 2 together, yarn over to last 4 stitches, knit 1, slip 3 with yarn in front. Keep color C attached. You can carry color C along the edge while striping colors. For squiggle 2, you will use another color. So I used A for the first squiggle. I'm going to use D for my next squiggle and then B. So arrange your colors A, D, and B in an order that you like. I started with A to continue with color A from the scallops. Squiggle 1, this will be squiggle 2, squiggle 3, and then repeat. Squiggle 4, squiggle 5, squiggle 6, squiggle 7, squiggle 8, squiggle 9. I'm doing ADB, 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 ADB for more of these squiggle stripes. So I'm going to use color D for squiggle 2, row 1, right side, using next color, color D. Knit 3, 1, 2, 3, knit front back, knit to last 3 stitches. You could do the weave in Stephen as you do this. You could do it now. Sometimes across the yarn overs you see that weave in Stephen, that yarn being carried. You can see it a little bit sometimes right after a yarn over row. So you could do the weave in Stephen on row 3 to hide it a little bit better. Otherwise, just knit to last 3 stitches. I don't see it too much there, so I'm going to keep on doing it, weaving in the ends as you knit. For about 12 or 15 stitches, you can do this cross with that new short tail of color D. Keep on going. And row 2 is an easy row. You'll need your stitch marker for row 2. So I'll see you after rows 1 and 2. At the beginning of row 2, wrong side, I just wanted to show you that placing of the marker again. I just knitted 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15. After knitting 15 stitches on the wrong side, row 2, place marker, and knit to the last 3 stitches. So we're going to do the marker placements on the wrong side again. And every time we place a marker on the wrong side, the next time it'll be further down along the row. So you're working shorter and shorter rows to create these squiggles. I just finished row 2 of squiggle 2. Row 3, right side, cross color C on top of your working yarn. So we're going to carry color C along the edge and just cross it on top like this. So I finished row 2 and both yarns are hanging in the back. Just take color C, wherever it is, bring it over to the right, and then place it on top of your working yarn. And you want to see color C going on top of the working yarn like that, and do that after every 2 rows. You'll do that cross at the beginning of the right side. So one more time. I just slipped 3 with yarn in front, row 2, row 3 right side. I'm ready to work row 3 with the same color, but before doing that, take color C and cross it on top. Just a simple cross like that. You just want to see color C going on top of your working yarn. Nothing fancy. Don't twist it around even more. Just from below, like this, and it goes to the left. Crosses to the left. You want to see that. And this is going to trap color C along the edge. Row 3, right side, after doing that cross, knit 3, knit front back, knit to the marker, knit to marker. These are all the techniques for these squiggles. Follow them closely, and you can rewind and skip around in the video to see any of the techniques again. The color C stripe will happen later after you have another squiggle. Every squiggle will be 7 garter ridges like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 garter ridges. And after each squiggle will be a little eyelet stripe. And you can skip back in the video to see that knit 1 while closing the short row gap, any of those eyelet stripe techniques. So you're increasing 1 stitch at the edge with that knit front back. And pay close attention to the written rows, especially on the wrong side, to count the right number of stitches. If it says to knit 24, or sometimes it says knit 28 before placing the marker, and you'll be placing that marker earlier, sooner and sooner. But those are all the techniques, and I'll see you after completing some more squiggles. Are you ready to see the finished clue 2? Here we have a brand new section with lots of short row waves and these eyelet stripes with color C. You're going to have 8 total stripes of color C, these eyelet stripes. I held a strand of lace weight mohair together with my color C. So you could hold a color of mohair together with any of your colors in this section for a mohair dare. I chose to do that for color C, just using a little bit of mohair for those eyelets. And you should have 9 total squiggles. So after following those rows in the pattern with the short rows, closing the gaps, you'll have colors A, D, B, A, D, B, A, D, B. So that's the order of the colors this week for the squiggles. A, D, B, A, D, B, A, D, B. Each color is used 3 times, so you should have 9 total squiggles with 3 squiggles of each color. And this is what the finished clue looks like. It might be a little bit puckery on the end where the eyelets are really close to each other, but don't worry about that. When we block the fabric out, it's going to lay nice and flat. So don't worry about that edge. And don't forget to weave in your ends as you knit during this section. This is what my wrong side looks like. And almost every time I added a new color, I was doing the weave in Steven technique that I showed earlier in this video, to weave in your ends as you go, and then you won't have to do that at the end. So take a look at that clue 2, and there's an illustration that you can reference as well that shows the outline of the sections for you to customize the colors. So some things you might want to do is maybe hold a lace weight mohair together with one of your colors. Just know that you're going to need about the same amount of yardage of a mohair yarn as the recommended color of fingering weight. So if it recommends that you need 100 yards of a color, you're going to need 100 yards of a mohair if you decide to hold it together throughout a section. Depends on the yardage and the color, of course. And then if you want to customize and add colors, I think this section is really cool if you add a brand new color and substitute color C with a brand new color, like a 5th color pop. So if you have a mohair that doesn't match any of your other 4 colors, you could use that color pop as color C as the eyelet stripe, and you could use all 4 of your wool colors as the squiggles. So you could do A, D, B, C. That could be a squiggle. A, D, B, C, and then end with A as your final squiggle. So you feel free to customize and incorporate more colors if you want. That eyelet stripe is a really great opportunity to add a brand new color pop of mohair or a new color of wool that you have lying around. And here we have that sound wave echoing and reverberating into a new section. But we still have no idea where this is going. So share your project on Ravelry and the Ravelry group, or on Instagram with the hashtag WestKnitsMCAL2025. And we're gonna see each other's colors, our mohair modifications, and guess where is this shawl gonna go. We still have live stitches. There's some I-cord edges on the other sides, but is this gonna be a sideways shawl or top down? Is it going to be a really long shape, or how are we going to fill this in? We'll learn in the next sections. There's going to be a different style every single week. So next week for Clue 3, we have a brand new song and different motifs to play with. We have lots of yarn remaining and a lot of different techniques and fun color play to work with in the following clues. So I hope you loved this short row section. It's much more relaxing, I think, than the first section. So get it set up, and then you'll be flowing and melodically relaxing with those harmonious rows. So I can't wait to see your color combos, and I'll see you in the next week.